Well, hello everyone. It is a 11:12 p.m. and I'm bored. Bored and hot in the house. So, power to you almost got to bed. Danae? Okay. So, hey, how's it going, everyone? The Cayman was live earlier, and everybody was over there, so decided to wait. Went out, took a couple pictures in the bee yard to try the new camera out. The video I put out today was entirely filmed on that phone, the whole thing, except for the very first intro. That wasn't, but everything else was. And so just hanging out. My son dropped by today, this evening, whatever you want to call it. And then at any rate, I figured if you were hanging around this long, I might do something special for the 4th. Let's see what I can do here. Let's see. Let's see if I can spell. And let's see, we'll do it on entire order. Orders anything? Nope, nope. Percentage discount. This is going to be a little thing right now. 12 p.m. No, we got to do the 5th at. Is it going to let me do a.m.? There we go. All right. So, what we've got on the website is yeah, Pastor Larry, good. That's a good thing, man. I did a video today. I took one bucket and mixed it into 4. I split it 4 ways and filled them up with water with my Apis Biologics in it, and what that did is gave me 20 gallons off of a 5-gallon bucket, and they took it all of it was gone today. Of course, now I've got 60 colonies out there, so so they did take it down, all of it. I checked it a little while ago. All right, so what we're gonna do, discount. We'll talk discounts. There's just 14 people in here. The discount code is 4th 20. Not 420, 4th 20. And actually, that's how it's spelled. It's spelled just like that. So that's the incorrect spelling of 4th, but that's how it's spelled in the system. So 4th 20 will give you 20% off of your order from the website on anything you order and everything. So if it's Apis or marking pins, mic cup, hive tool, whatever, 20% off until through the 4th of July. But I know Todd at Loma Vista will forget to order. So that's FOURTH. No, that's right. That's correct. I don't know why I was thinking it was different. 4th 20. There you go. And so I figured, there's stuff coming down. It's getting ready to be feeding season. if you need a big bag of one big bag, I got one big bag of this. You can get, hell, take the 20% off of this thing's like almost $40 off. So there you go on that. So, it's one of those things to where I was on the phone when you tried to call Spanky after Charlie was on the phone with me. So I apologize. I didn't pick up. And then actually forgot you had called me until you just said something. But I guess I need to give you all the website, right? You guys know the website yet? It's www.bewares.co. Not .com, .co. If that doesn't work, I don't know why it's doubling my thing up. If that doesn't work for you, try www.bewares.bigcartel.com. And that one will work. And I have no idea why it's doubling up all my posts, guys, when I do it in the chat. But there you go. So use 4th20 at checkout. When you get to checkout, there'll be a spot that says discount code. You got to write 4th20 in there to get the code. And then we'll get it shipped out to you. And tomorrow night, Tim and Hannah are on at 8 o'clock. They advertised originally they were only going to do every other Sunday, but I think they're a little bit addicted. Tim, I need to talk to you. You need to jump in here because I got to tell you something interesting about your Everything BVAC. The Everything BVAC is, I need to borrow that sucker, man. You need to go ahead and bring it up. Because my bucket vac is pretty much wiped out, and I need one. So I was looking at him, but then he said he was 2 or 3 weeks on back order on them or behind in building them. And I'm like, man, it's kind of difficult there. And if anybody wants to join in, the link is in the top of the chat over there, pinned that way. But yeah, so hey, Jeremy. And so we fed some bees today. Hey, Blaine. Just really, I got in a colony, man. They were so hot. Oh my gosh, so hot. And I think it's just this dearth going on that's making all the bees angry. Time to extract some more, huh? I gotcha. Putting in the work. I understand. Got to do it. And so I need to get out there and pull some more. Probably I've got to start drilling the lids out for jar feeders or whatever, even if I'm going to use buckets. It still uses the same size hole. So I have to start getting that stuff ready. And it's just so hot. I don't even feel like doing it. I would rather do it all night long in the cool air. But I'm supposed to go check out some bees tomorrow, and I don't have the bee vac. My bee vac is out of commission right now, so if I go get one, I got to drive all the way across town to Home Depot because Lowe's don't carry something like that, and makes it kind of different. And I haven't seen anything bee-related new today on Marketplace. And but the feed has definitely getting pummeled around here. It's at checkout. There'll be a spot. Let me see if I can show you. All right. See if I show you. I'll show you on the thing here. Share screen. We'll just do entire screen. Add to stream. All right. So let's say I want this 600-pound bag of commercial. And okay, add to cart. And then when you go to checkout, which I'm not going to check out. Oh, have a discount code right here, or on the next screen when you get to the actual list, it'll have a checkout spot on the bottom in the corner right here that says discount code. So you should be able to add it. But I am not going to buy a 600-pound bag. And if you know anybody that wants to resell any of my products, that's a store, they can become a reseller by going to the website and clicking. But I don't have a lot of products, guys. I just got a few products. Few products over there. That's it. But yeah, you gotta, if you don't do that, it's not going to apply a discount. And then I don't have a good way of like giving you a discount after the discount thing. So there's that. But, you know, I should put that. Let me see if I can make a banner here. Create a banner. Where's .co 20% off using code fourth 20 at checkout. There you go. Add banner. Show. There you go. Poke salad, medicinal properties. Yeah, it was late. We've been on like 14 minutes right now, so it's been so I figured I'd run a little 4th of July sale on the website. Save a little bit, you know. Actually, I need to take that pre-order off of this thing. Hold on. Products. Should be able to edit this. Well, there he is, and there she is. What's up?
Evening.
Did I wake y'all up?
No, we
Can't guarantee how long she's gonna last.
we
So
had a late evening.
I went looking to buy your everything BVAC,
Yes, sir.
and he said it said on the website they were like 3 weeks behind on making them.
Road.
So yeah, that was a kind of an issue.
But did you put your order in?
No,
No.
Oh,
I need it sooner than 3 weeks. So
How quick do you need one?
well,
Didn't you say tomorrow?
yeah, I'm going to be using something tomorrow. I don't know. I mean, I couldn't have got that BVAC that soon anyway, but I was like, you know what? I'm either going to spend another $30 on a bucket head vac like I've got, or I'm going to go ahead and order one. And, you know, the guy's been waiting this long. I'm sure a few more weeks wouldn't be nothing, especially when it's 1,000,000 degrees outside. And so that's what I was gonna do. However, doesn't look like that's going to be the case now.
Well, I mean,
Figure something out.
if you want to get you one type thing, now we can shoot you ours up there till you get yours. Ain't nothing happening down here. We ain't doing swarm.
Nothing's happening right now until right after you put that thing in the mailbox.
Hey, look, I will risk a jinx like that to get something started down here for real.
I mean, it's so hot, and I'm sure it's hot down there too, that the bees, they ain't even come. If they come out of the hive, they're just hanging on the front. They're just hanging out in the hive, and you open it up, and they're just all mean and mad that you're even breaking them open.
Yeah, I've been having trouble going outside here lately. But then he brought a box with some honey frames in this morning.
Yeah.
And there was like 8, just there was bees in the house. Like all over the kitchen and living room. He supposedly had them off there.
I took that frame and I knocked it hard on top of that box. Well, several fell off. And I was like, all right. Then I took the little broom, swept off a couple, stragglers that like to hang on, stuck it to the side. We're golden. Dun, dun, dun. Got about 4 of them. There's a little story behind all that, but got those, brought them inside, set them on the kitchen table. Now, granted, this is 6:30 this morning.
Yeah,
I'm doing all this.
Really.
And they had bees all over the place?
When I walk through the kitchen, I hear buzzing, just hitting the light, nailing it everywhere. There's like 8 bees loose in the house, and they were not very happy.
We've got an American Bull and Lab mix, and buddy, she's gotten her tail tore up by them bees. She knows what they sound like. So whenever one ventures into the house, she has a fit. I'm talking about barking, yipping, pointing it out.
Terrified of bees.
So she was having a moment this morning, and I told Hannah, I said,
well, I went out there with full intentions this morning to move my double 5 frames into a single 10 frame box. So I free up my nuke boxes, right? So I can start stacking nuke boxes on top of other nukes that need more space. But man, them bees, I did 1 colony, and it was so
sorry.
See, now Wayne, I just said, brother, that I don't have a good way to go. Let me see. I don't even know if there's a way to cancel the order. Let me see. You know what? What if I throw you in a bottle of swarm lure in your order for free? Would that do you a good deal?
Heck yeah.
So that'll be about actually it's a little better than 20% on that. So if you don't mind, I'll do that, and that'll even it out. But if you do mind, then I don't know. I got to figure out how to. That is a bad thing, right? I need to figure out how to do refunds and stuff like that, because I've never had to do that before. And I don't know if you have a way to cancel. You still have swarm lure left? I'll figure something out, man. I'll make it up to you somehow. I'll figure something out on something to get you that'll make it right. but I'll get you straightened out. And I appreciate the order for sure. So
I know it. I know it's late in the evening. What time is it? It's almost 12 o'clock at your house, ain't it?
11:30.
11:30.
Mm-hmm.
So most everybody pretty well retired for the evening. Typically, we normally are, but we've had a late evening. We'll mention this tomorrow in our little old live. But I was going to say something in Charlie's live last night and come in, but everybody got to talking and y'all had a good conversation going on in there. But your honey rustler, you with me?
Mm-hmm.
It performed, but it didn't perform on the level of running bees out of the super for us to get honey. Not going to give it all away yet, but there was some robbing that was trying to go on.
It stopped it from robbing.
And man, it sure did, Bob. It stopped it in just a few. It wasn't like immediate like that, but within, I'm gonna say 30 seconds, you watch them bees just push back, because we got one colony that's got a migratory lid, and I'm not a fan of migratory lids, and I'm not a fan of telescoping lids. Both of them are not good in my opinion, as far as, or I'll say the quality, the way they've been built and we bought from different places have not been well. The telescoping, the plyboard turns up, it messes the metal all up. Then eventually, you can have bees getting in the top of that thing. The migratory does the same thing. It'll bow on you. But that's what we was having. There was a little bow in that migratory lid, but they couldn't quite get in there.
But they were trying hard.
But yes, sir, they was trying hard. They were like digging around trying to get in. So I had that bottle out there. I was like, I'll just try it. Shoot, it runs them out of the box, so it may just keep them from the robbing.
Have you tried to use it as to push them out of the super?
That'll be tomorrow after church for us. We're gonna go get what little bit of honey we can get.
Because I got an interesting call today from Ashby Miller.
Mm-hmm.
And Ashby said when he first got it, he went out and harvested honey, and it pushed him out of the supers about like everything else. About 80% of the bees was gone out of it, right? There, you always got a few still hanging around in there, but about 80% of them was out. Then he said, fast forwarded 3 weeks later, he put it on a colony, and it's like it didn't affect him. So I told him today when I talked to him, I said, well, first of all, the temperature when did you pull it? Were you pulling in the evening when it was cooler? Were you pulling in the middle of the day? Some of that stuff makes a difference. And I really wanted his feedback. And I also asked him, I said, the other thing is, do you have a flow on or is there a dearth? Because if there's a dearth, they're going to hang on to that feed as long, no matter what. You pop that top off, they're going to come flying out at you. So there's a few things that do kind of affect it, but I don't know why he would go out there one time and it would be working fine, and then the next time he comes out and he was having problems with it. So, this is the stuff we need, right? We need the feedback so we can improve on it. And same thing with the swarm lure. I think some people didn't have good luck with it, other people had great luck with it, and a lot of that is area and what's going on in your neck of the woods type of things, right? So
I think the good luck far outweighed the bad, though, with that from everybody, the way they're all talking. A lot of people did really good with your swarm stuff.
So, we're trying to make things, and that's why I haven't really advertised too much. I haven't tried to get people to carry this honey robber. I figured that you guys would be honest with me, and if it doesn't work and you're like, Bob, this is just junk, then we'll work it out.
We could say as of right now, it helped hugely by preventing robbing on the outside of the box. We didn't spray anything on the inside, but I went all the way around that super, and I give it one good mist on each side. I didn't get crazy with it, just all the way around, and they back right on off of it.
It works good on like swarm captures and stuff like that too. When they keep going back to the branch and back to the branch, even when the queen's not there, they just keep going back to that branch.
Mm-hmm.
Shake them, spray it, and they'll leave it alone. So
I wish we could have sworn to test that.
Yeah, I mean, we had went down to our little watering hole for the day and relaxed and listened to the river. And on the way back, started looking at the phone, and buddy, we had missed call after missed call, and one of them was Ed, son of one.
he called me today too.
And just the difference. I know, yeah, we're in a different part of Alabama, but we'll just say 2.5 hours, 3 hours away from Ed. And he was doing some queen sales. I think he was doing a starter finisher, I believe he said.
Mm-hmm.
And had good results with it. The way he was talking. You said Ed's in here?
He just came in the chat.
Sorry, brother. I guess one of our phones cut off. I was going to call you back in the morning. But on that, he was having a good run.
I see you didn't forget this time.
Nope.
He's like,
I wanted to make sure.
I got the discount. I got to go get it.
Yes, sir. It's all done.
Go ahead, man.
Where's Candler, North Carolina? They got a hive lifter. Oh, that's near Asheville. That's a couple hours away. Hive lifter. $1,000 cash.
There you go.
That's $500 discount.
Wasn't Charlie looking for one of them things?
He was, but I don't know what he's waiting on. Why are they getting rid of it?
You should buy it and then resell it to Charlie at a little more price than what you got.
There you go.
I should buy it and do a video on my new.
Yeah, that would do it.
Charlie about it.
He wouldn't like that. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's indoors. I wonder
How
why.
How are you doing, Tim and Hannah?
I'm good.
We're doing well, brother. How's it going out that way in California?
It's hot. It's hot and dry here. I got up at 5 to get to the bee yard at 5:30 so I could get my work done before it got too hot.
Yeah.
It was I think it was 108 today. It's been inside all day. I'm not even going to go out there.
You've got a honey flow right now?
It's ending. Tallow's checking out, and then Privet's still kind of going.
Do you notice that when that starts happening, your bees get a lot more testy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, mine are.
They're getting an attitude.
Mine aren't jalapeno, man. They're like ghost pepper right now. They are hot.
Mine are just a little spicy right now. But
so my thing is, I keep getting suits, right? So I've got the Ceracell full suit, but they get me in the pants, in the legs, and that suit is so thin on the legs that it'll sting through my jeans and through that cloth material.
Wow.
So
I got one through the jeans this morning,
and they just tear me up on that. Yeah. So so you guys have probably seen the video I put out the last couple off of the phone. Better quality.
Yeah. It seems to be.
The video I filmed today was actually an 8K, but YouTube won't broadcast an 8K video. It'll only go to 4K. So, but I went from a 2019 model cell phone to a 2023 model cell phone, and it made a huge difference. Huge difference.
I
So
bet.
it's see, I could have bought that. This is what that hive lifter cost. That's what this is. This is how much it is.
Man.
So,
Yeah.
but that is definitely a
So they're proud of them puppies.
yeah. And the bad thing is, in 6 months there'll be one better than this one probably.
Yeah.
But it's nice to be able to just set it over here and let it charge on the wireless charger and go outside and do a little video. The most difficult part, Ed called me when I was trying to get the video footage from the phone into my computer so I could edit it. So that was a little bit of a. This is a Samsung S23 Ultra. So, Michael. But yeah, like I noticed on the video today when I flipped the camera around that I could see all the little mesh squares in my veil and everything. So it's definitely a lot higher definition. And yeah, works great so far. As long as I don't drop and break it.
Yeah.
That'll be the next thing that happens.
You're invest in a case for that thing.
Yeah.
You know, I got one and it's made out of Kevlar. You see it's not on it, right? Because when this is on it, it doesn't do the wireless charge thing. But they did not engineer it very well because the camera holes don't line up perfectly with the cameras. I mean, I haven't noticed that it makes a difference when I'm filming, but I'm like, really? If you couldn't cut the rubber material any better than what you did for $49.99, you know, at Best Buy. So,
it was Friday evening, Bob.
they got me.
Yes.
Mhm.
But the you know, I don't have a cell phone plan, right? So I don't have like Alltel or Verizon. I've got Cricket. And I had Cricket for so long that my plan didn't even support 5G. It would max only let me go to 4G, right? So I had to go in there, get them to upgrade it for $10 a month to get me 5G coverage. So now I got 5G. But funny thing is, I don't get 5G at the house, but it also works like a Wi-Fi hotspot. See,
Bob, let me ask you this: when did you get the phone?
day before yesterday.
Have your bees been fired up more since day before yesterday?
It's the phone's fault.
Yeah.
It's the 5G messing with your bees.
Well, you know what? This phone, I think, still has. I mean, obviously, I don't have 5G signal at my house. All the way up to my house, I have 5G. But when I pull in the yard, done. Yeah, it's gone. I don't have it anymore. So I still have issues like when I walk out to my feeder, it's like it's on Wi-Fi, then it disconnects from the Wi-Fi and flips back to cell phone, and then I walk one place and it tries to reconnect, so it kind of messes it up. I like it. So when I buy a phone, I don't do the lease a phone every month payment type of thing. I just buy the phone and put my SIM card in it. And that way I own the phone. If it breaks, well, it's broke. You know, I try to work that out. But yeah, I'm not I don't like high cell phone bills. But yeah, so right now I've got to pull supers. And see, this is what I'm worried about because I had that swarm last week, right, that I caught off the tree. If I go removing all these supers and shaking them all down into a single box, are they going to just take off next week? Besides that, it's too damn hot to be out there working. That's the biggest problem. I'll wait till it gets cool, shake them all out, or something. I don't know, but it is brutal right now.
Well, I was going to say for anybody passing through the Mobile area tomorrow, after church, holler at us because we'll need some help. We got one super we need to get off and get that baby inside. Maybe we'll get 10 frames.
Yeah, one whopping super.
One whopping super.
That's what we got.
You need 5 people to come just to rotate spinning that hand crank. So
I would get that right. I would appreciate some help in that department.
I'm gonna find one. I'm gonna find one on Marketplace. I'm gonna be like, Tim and Hannah, somebody in this place of Alabama's got one for sale.
No.
You need to go get. It's a good one.
Go get it, Bob.
Well,
our extractor works, so he won't go get an electric one.
if I do that, then I have to go get a dishwasher. Then
Yeah.
you
I
know
don't
what?
know why you ain't got that. That's only a couple $100 right there.
I rest my case.
It's only a couple $100. Get you a ding one that they get, the scratch and dent ones at Home Depot and Lowe's. Mainly Lowe's. I don't think Home Depot does it anymore.
Oh, I wouldn't even be picky about what it looked like.
There's a
No, I ain't mad.
someone's got one of them Cowan, Wyoming. They got one of them Cowan uncappers like James just got. $300. Probably got to do all kinds of work on it.
How much them things run? New?
10 grand.
10 grand for 300 bucks. Yeah. You better turn around and walk off from that one.
Yeah, 50 frame radial spinner. It looks like it's all been sitting out like lawn. You know how people pull old tractors out there and let them sit? Kind of what this equipment looks like right now.
Does it come with the tetanus too, sir?
You need one. You probably have to get your shots ahead of time. You have to present your shot record when you go to buy it.
Yes. No,
Thank you.
Thing go to scrapyard.
And that's in Wisconsin. I know I see all kinds of stuff all the time for like the extractors and stuff. And I'm pretty sure I saw one down there in Alabama somewhere. But that's what everyone sends me links. Hey, this is in South Carolina. That's still 3 hours away. South Carolina is weird, and I'm sure Alabama's probably weird like it too, because you got cities and then you've got not cities, right? Just rural area. So there's not like a highway that goes from where I'm at to where they're at. I got to go all the way to the coast and catch 95 and go all the way south to get to like Beaufort and stuff. It's still 3-4 hours to get to them.
Yeah, it's a 20-mile trip to the interstate in the closest direction is 20 miles. But if we go to Mobile and we got to hit I-10 for something, then yeah, you're talking about almost 30 miles to get to I-65 and I-10.
So you said you don't like migratory covers.
My rub with them is the way they just bow up, because it constantly, I'm having to put a strap or 2x4 across that thing to draw it back down. And
well,
go ahead.
I got the same kind of issue, but it doesn't matter if I buy them from Man Lake or I build them. Well, I really haven't built that many, but the ones that I built out of plywood for like my nukes, they don't bow. But the ones that I've bought that are just out of regular lumber, they'll bow or they'll get dried and start cracking out, or they make me mad because everybody, any YouTube you watch or anybody tells you glue your equipment, but you buy the equipment from like Man Lake or somewhere and they're selling you lids that, the end pieces on them, that they'll just come out because they were just nailed in or Brad nailed in or something to stick them on there. They're not glued in place. So you end up wasting, I consider wasting, but it doesn't really matter to me. If it don't have that on it, I'm just going to still set it on top of it. You know, it's just going to cover the top either way. But I'm thinking I might start doing the Alex and just get some, even if it's half sheets of plywood and cutting them down to size for, don't you scratch my chair, you cat, to go ahead and just make some 3/4 inch plywood tops on it, paint them, be done with it. And I mean, if they're going to last as long as the other ones, I might as well just cut those down to size myself.
We bought that one from that migratory lid. There's a fella, I don't know, about 10, 15 miles from us. We found him on the other social media there. And we bought the lid, and I think about 4 deep boxes from him a few years ago. And like I said, that's the first dealings we had in it with the migratory lid. And it did good the first couple months. Didn't have no problem. It stayed flat on there. But then whenever we started getting our beating hot summer sun and all this blasted humidity, it just started trying to cup on us. So it turned into ratchet straps and all kinds of stuff to get it to come back down. Then now the telescoping lids, we ordered, I think 2 of them come from, oh mercy, what?
You mess around and get one of them propolized down though without an inner cover, you'll know something.
Yes, sir.
You ain't getting that thing off. I've got a feeder shim that has vents on it that is stuck inside. I'm gonna have to pry. I'm gonna have to take it off and pry it from the inside to get that shim off of there. But it's crazy.
It's amazing what they can do.
I haven't done it, but I think we was talking maybe Keith Larimore or Ed sometime back. But now you can do it without it breaking, but using hardy plank, because you can get 12-inch wide hardy plank. But take that hardy plank, if you just set it down on top when they propolize it and you stick that tool under there, yeah, it's gonna bust it. But if you take and build a little rim around that hardy plank, do it 3/4, and have you a little 3/4 or 3/8 rise, however far you want it to come up off the top of them frames, and put you a little small, I don't know, we'll say like just fur it out on the inside. Now, as far as lasting longer, yeah, they would last longer in our weather conditions, especially if you painted them up with something. Just throw you some kind of exterior paint on the top of them. But I don't think you'll have any of that bowing if you built them that way. But
have you ever tried just 1x2 for like a feeder shim?
Now, anything that we've done, we built one lid. We had some cedar left over, and we had built, it's a telescoping lid, but I ripped everything down to, I think it was 3/8. We was using 3/4 cedar, and I just made me a little rim on the inside. Yeah, furred it out is what I'm trying to say on the inside.
Let's see. I can't do the Spanky's link and stuff in the chat. I can't go through and watch the Book of Faces tonight and do it. But I still got honey in the bottling tank that I haven't even bottled up, jarred up, if you will. And then I pulled out of that double 5-frame today. Every honeycomb that they had was like wonky comb that they had pulled out. It's still short, but it's off of the plastic foundation, and they've capped it already. I'm like, man, I might just pull that off and throw it in some jars for some comb honey look, a little chunk honey action.
We had several of them do the same thing. We waxed them babies up nice and pretty. I mean, we didn't overload them, but we got some wax on them.
And they
They building all kind of nonsense in there.
Cooks and Beals 120 frame extractor.
You gonna get a frame? I'm gonna get her to grab one of them frames of honey. I might here in a second. I'll take y'all outside. Them bees, they was bearding good and heavy just a while ago. But I don't. We probably about 87 degrees right now.
Let me see. I'm trying to see. I don't see the extractor on there. I see an uncapper. Where's the extractor? Oh, 8 weeks ago. A week ago. 120 frame. Cooks and Beals.
It's probably gone.
Yeah, it's hard to find because nobody wants to wreck the comb that it takes so much to build up. That's a good looking frame.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yep.
Looks like money.
It's gonna be our little stash. It ain't gonna be too much giving out or selling, but
Now you don't go through your super or through your deep and pull the outside honeycombs out of there.
well, we typically would, especially if we had us a good flow. But this year, we're real hesitant about digging down in the bottom.
Leave it for them.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I find
Now,
that
go ahead.
it's usually still out there when I come back the next spring. It's usually still sitting there. So
Now we had them hiccups with the beetles the other day, and we probably could have saved one or two out of it, but we just wouldn't even go in there. I done got so doggone aggravated with it. And they robbed them out, but it wasn't the frenzy robbing them out. So, man, it still got us so confused. They're not drawing when we go in one week. We go in the next week. Look, well, they're drawing out a pretty good bit for this year. Then say you go in the following week and there ain't much happening. They barely got themselves filled with nectar in there. And it's just been a real confusing year down here.
yeah, that's the same here. Is some of them seem to really want to pull and store and draw wax, and some of them just kind of want to chill out, and it's like,
Yeah. Same here.
Now, we was watching, I don't know if y'all caught Mr. Mike Berry's video, that latest one he put out, going to help that fella Steve and another gentleman.
mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it yet.
I saw he posted. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
Buddy, now those new beekeepers out there, he's helping out. I think they both got two colonies, two different gentlemen, and he went to both of them's places, and buddy, those colonies are rocking it far as brood. Y'all check it out and look at the brood that they got going on, but it's still a trickle of a flow over there too.
Yeah, and I have to watch Ed's video. Was like 40 something minutes this morning. I think the one he did. I need to go back and watch that. I'm worried because Ed seems to be doing a lot of splits, which is fine. But if he's doing like I did my first season when I started, I was splitting and not really letting them get strong for the winter. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the attack of the hive beetles came and wiped them all out. Except I ended up going through the winter with 4 nukes, and I had 15 colonies, at one time, just because I kept splitting and splitting. So this year, and I've done it a little bit different years past, but this year I've really made a concerted effort to keep my colonies as strong as I can keep them without getting them swarmy, right? So even if I go in there and there's queen cells, could I make a split with the queen cells? Sure, I could. But I could also knock them down and keep my colony the way they are. So I've erred on the side of knocking them down and being able to control my splits how I want the splits, as compared to making a split just because I have queen cells.
Mm-hmm.
Because the days are starting to get shorter. It doesn't seem like it, but they are slowly getting shorter. And in the next month or so, you got to have those bees rocking and rolling and laying ready to, for the winter time. Otherwise, what'll happen is you're carrying this weak colony in, and then they're going to die out on you, right? So you made a split, you wasted resources off that mother colony, and it ended up dying on you. So I'm trying to avoid that, and I haven't been able to avoid it in the last few years because I've always let me make a 1-frame split, 2-frame split. About the only time I'll make a 1-frame split now is if I'm actually trying to get a queen to go out and fly and get mated and come back. Then I'll make a 1-frame split. But this year it's all been 2- and 3-frame splits to get them going,
That was the thing, like talking to him earlier, Ed. One of the biggest questions I have for him it's great you had those queen cells come in and everything's rolling good for you, but like right here for us, do you have the drones?
And that's what I asked him too. He said, I got drones in every box.
Because we ain't got it.
I ain't got them either. Not like
we
that.
would love to split, but they're not here, so we're not even going to take and just waste those resources.
Yeah, that's my thing. So let's say you got 5 hives, you go ahead and make 5 splits. Now you got 10 weak hives, right? Instead of 5 real strong ones. You could, however, out of those 5, take 1 frame of brood out of 3 of them, 1 with queen cells, and now you got a decent split that gives it a good chance. But I don't even at this. You've got 3 months, but I'm just saying for my situation here, I found that this time of year when the queen starts slowing down and the beetles and the mites start ramping up, it's a little bit difficult.
Now he said he's got the drones out there, so Lord willing, I honestly, we hope and pray it works out great for him, but just 2.5 hours southwest, ain't no way we could do it. There's no way we could split anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
just been doing 3 brood, a food, and a clear fruit in the split.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I hope things work good for you, Ed. I'm just saying from my experience, from what I've done, I haven't had any luck doing it this time of year like that. So, I'm not in Alabama. I'm not close to Bruce. I don't, you're close to Bruce. You got the benefit of any drones he's got as well. So, so you do have a little bit different situation. But I'm just saying, my first season, I was doing split just to get as many colonies as I could. And then I ended up losing them all except for 4 nukes, right, that I carried through winter. And all 4 of those did make it. But just be careful, man. That's all I'm saying. Be careful, because in the span of a few days, them hive beetles can decimate you.
Hey, we can testify to that. We'll talk to y'all tomorrow about that. But we had another run in. We kind of leave it there, but I think we was going into our second year, and we was kind of getting on. Let's start splitting and really getting things built up and see where we can do with this. And we had gotten our horizontal hives, so man, we wanted to pack them babies out too. So we got, I think we got into early September, and we was getting just a little bit of flow, and we was going to split 2 or 3 more to go into winter. And we had texted Dirt Rooster and got his opinion for us down here on the Gulf Coast.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, you can push it into October, but I wouldn't push it no further than that. As far as doing splits and letting them get through and actually having a good chance of making it through winter. But at the same time, you're probably talking about feed, build them up, whether you sugar water in your apis and pollen sub, the whole shooting match. But we don't really get much of a goldenrod flow. It comes up, it's everywhere, but we've never harvested off a goldenrod.
I hope, yeah, I mean, Ed, I hope it works good for you, man. I know our cotton down here don't produce nectar, so some cottons do and some cottons don't. Evidently, the one we got down here does not. So, but it's you know, I've thought about it too. Some of these colonies, I haven't even been down like all the way through the brood box in a couple months. You know, just all I've been doing is checking the super and going through the honey supers. And if I get to the bottom box and I pull a frame out and I see brood on it, I put it back. And, you know, it's like, all right, there's a queen in here somewhere doing something, you know, and just let them go. It's just not a something that I'm worried about right now as far as swarming. You know, obviously I had one, and I usually don't get spring swarms because I do my splits in the spring, so they're weak and have to build back up before the honey flow. And this year did that, but some did good on honey, some didn't. So I don't know if they need to be requeened or if I need to let them go. And you know, James seems to think that next year will be the year because I have all 1 or 2 year old queens, right? Mostly 1 year old queens, and so they should do really well in next year. So we'll see. And that seems to be the story of my life with beekeeping. It's always next year. Next year will be better. Next year is going to be better. Oh yeah, wait a minute. Well, next year will be better. And then I talked to Sam down the road. He's like, "Oh, we haven't had a good honey flow in several years now." You know, I'm like, well, that's been my experience as well. So,
see, it's been the total opposite for us. This is our first year of just complete, not much happening at all. Like, go back to talking to Ed. Man, if we would have done it right in the last 4 years and pulled honey, we definitely could have pulled honey twice in the spring and done our big main flow, you know, around this time of the year and pulled and still had plenty to go off of. I mean, we literally could not keep up with them as far as putting foundation in and trying to get more equipment. It was just too hard keeping up with their tails because you put a box on, they'd have that rascal drawed out 4 or 5 days, filling that puppy up.
You know, I've got some double screen boards, right? I could go out there, pull up part of double brood box and spin the entrance around backwards and set it back. One side will have a queen, one won't. One will make queen cells, one won't, right? So I could split them right in half just like that. Todd, you're mighty quiet over there. You're supposed to be chiming in saying, "That's stupid, Bob. You shouldn't do that."
I'm dragging. And I have to get up at 5 again. I'm just super tired.
You getting up at 5
And
again?
yeah, I have more work out there. I need. It's supposed to be 110 tomorrow. But I wrestled with a smoker this morning, and it's been bugging me all day. My throat's coated with smoke, with pine straw. So I don't know what it is.
Let's see. At 4 a.m., it'll still be 76 degrees outside, and at 6 a.m., it'll be 75.
Yeah, I woke up this morning, it was 72, and as soon as the sun came up, it went through 80 really quick, it seemed like.
And by 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, it'll be 96. So, yeah.
But we only had 20% humidity today.
Only?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
We had 70,
that's high. That's high. I'm telling
I got
you.
72% humidity right now.
I should see what I got right now. It's
Let's see.
well, I'm in a desert, so it's not going to get that humid.
It's supposed to
Feels
rain
like
here
80
Tuesday.
right now.
And
And
there's
it's
no water.
81% up
Yeah.
here.
Our humidity's 81% at what 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Right now it's 26% and it is 96 degrees.
Well, we be in hog heaven. You had some kind of something like that here.
Tim would go out, work his bees in a thong if it was that nice out.
Pretty much. Yes, sir. But it wouldn't matter if it was 99 degrees, but 20% humidity. We'd make it.
You know those little short rain showers, like you're talking about, Blaine? Sometimes it makes it worse because it's just enough to put more moisture back in the air, right? Make it just even muggier outside.
Those come through down here, and like afterward, you can literally see the steam in the air.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It gets pretty bad. So.
Blaine says I might as well stay up, but I can't. I don't think I'm going to make it for another 15 minutes.
Y'all ready to pull a 6 hour?
We've been 1 hour in. It's midnight. We'd be up at 7 in the morning.
Oh shoot!
And
well,
I'll
check if you're on when I wake up.
And we're working on Monday.
I took the day off.
You know what? I figured, talking about Apis Biologics. So when I do that, like I did in the video, I took 1 bucket and mixed it in 4. I still put the Apis in it for 20 gallons. I don't put the Apis in for 5 gallons or 10 gallons. I got to put it in for 20. So every time I do that, on the 3rd time, if I use the small pack, I'm out. I got to get another small pack. So I'm going to start just using big packs because the price for the big pack, you get more, lasts longer.
I thought about doing that tonight, and I just said, because I put them in the freezer when they get here. They don't stay out. Even when I open them, they go back in.
And I've got to order just regular stuff, right? So like some pollen sub, I've got to order that. I've got to order, I've got to start ordering frames and foundation if I'm going to go with wood frames and foundation, because I'm not going to be sitting there before the season, and I will watch putting together 1,000 frames, but it's still. And I thought about contacting Blythewood Bee Company and say, hey, what kind of price would you get me if I bought 100 boxes, right? And if he'll come down on the price some, maybe I just buy it from him. But because if I can get cheaper boxes, but then you got to pay the shipping, which brings it right back up. So maybe I can get a deal from him. I don't know.
Cool.
95 Fahrenheit is prime temp to get comb pulled. Are you kidding me? I'll melt.
No, well, that'll be about 9 o'clock in the morning, Mark. So we'll be good to go.
I went out early thinking I was going to beat it, and it beat me down. And I had a bee. So I told you they were mean, right? So I came back in, I switched suits, and I flipped the veil on. I went out there and got stung in the ear. I'm like, what the hell? And then I got stung on the throat. Guess what? Forgot to zip the zipper on the bottom. So then I zipped it, and nope, all of it went in that one tote, and they sucked it all down. It was gone. It was gone.
Hey, you know what? Do their minds when you feed them apis in the fall, like a thin syrup? I'm wondering if they're going to draw more or what.
You know, I don't know, because I do the open feed. The reason I do the open feed now instead of directly on the colony is because the smaller colonies will take that, even if it's a smaller amount, a pint, it'll take them longer to get through a pint.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's any left in there, now I'm fighting the robin on the colonies.
Yeah.
If I put it out in the tote,
yeah.
the big colonies will go to the tote because it's the lowest hanging fruit. And the small colonies can go there.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it just seems to work out better right now.
I might try it that way this year instead of individual buckets on hives.
Well, there is a problem with it. And the problem is that it's proportionate then, right? The bigger colonies get more of that 20 gallons than the little colonies get because they've got less foragers.
Yeah.
So it's not really making that small colony grow faster or draw faster because they don't. Now I could probably get away with putting it on those smaller colonies and having the open feed.
Mm-hmm.
That might work better. But if they fly feed, that's the thing. And because mine is so thin, I mean, I took one 5-gallon 2-to-1 and split it 4 ways and filled it all. Well, not all the way. It's probably somewhere between 16 and 20 gallons in there, right? But because I don't fill them all the way up to the top, and I don't know where the 5-gallon is actually on the bucket, right? So it's somewhere close to 20 gallons. But best I can figure is like 17% sugar. So that means it's 83% water. So as far as, you know, getting in the honey or making funny honey or whatever, it's my belief that primarily they use that and feed the bees in the colony and maybe put it around the brood or whatever. But I think that any sugar in it's consumed pretty quick, you know.
Now, you trying to talk about open feeding this year, Todd?
Yes, sir. I might do a little of both, but I will open feed in late August, September, sometime around there.
Mm-hmm.
I usually do. See, over here, this year is going to be really good because we had a lot of water in the ground. But there's a weed called it's called blue curl, and it's indigenous to the central part of California, going all the way up there, just the whole Central Valley, even up to where Jose's at, and it's their last shot. It's their last foraging opportunity, and they know it. And when it hits, when you open that lid, it smells like camphophenique. If you guys remember what that smells like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it hits you and you're like, oh boy, but it's really good honey. I've tasted it before. It's really good. But I leave that for them. So I try to get all that I can between now and then out of the hive. Then I'll start feeding. And then that blue curl comes in. It'll start coming out of the ground later this month, but it won't really get going until late August, and then it sticks around for about a month, and it's it's going to be big this year because, like I said, that we had so much rain. It's just going to be amazing. And you know what? Maybe I don't have to feed after that.
Right.
So,
Well, that's kind of what I do is I feed them in the dearth, but the fall flow that comes in, typically I leave that alone until January or February. And if it's in the brood boxes, I pull it out and I give them either foundation or I give them drawn comb that they can start laying in and remove that food. And some people are like, why are you pulling that out now? And, you know, and they don't get it because you'll see bees bringing pollen in, but they don't really have nectar. So they get backfilled with pollen, and now she doesn't have anywhere to lay.
Pollen bound is the worst because they don't move pollen.
Right. And mainly right now, if I've got any empty combs in there, I'm trying to get them to start pulling them. I don't know why some of them are not pulling them like they should, but it seems to be the plastic thing. Even when you roll wax on them, sometimes they do that. So
yeah, I'm having a problem with them drawing this year too. I don't know what's what. But they do a little bit, but not like they usually do. See, now Tim's out there in that 95-degree weather.
Ain't gonna take long for I'll be right back in that house.
You know, it's amazing though, and it's probably the same where you guys are. So you go outside and it's hot, and you come inside and that AC feels like it's really working good, and then you sit in it for about 5 minutes. You're like, dog, it's hot in here too.
Yeah.
It's just enough to get you going there. Yeah. And I'm gonna have to empty out my bottling tank, so I'm gonna have to fill jars probably sometime tomorrow, and then probably move that whole setup out of the kitchen into the honey house out there somewhere. Figure it out. I'll probably just put a piece of wood on my sawhorses, and that'll be where my.
Oh, they're not bearding too. Oh, there they are.
Everybody in Alabama must be asleep right now because you got good signal all of a sudden.
We get pretty good signal up here. We do that straight talk and get them phones that run off that Verizon tower. And it works pretty good for us around here.
See, now some people say with the entrance reducers. So I've got some hives that are full on open. I've got some hives that have the little tiny entrance.
Look at that big old bee up there. Man, is that a drone?
That's a palmetto right there.
They probably come from South Carolina since we're the palmetto state.
They everywhere around here. That's that.
I thought that was a roach.
Oh, it's a roach. Yeah, it's a palmetto roach.
Never heard of them.
Oh, them babies, they pop when you step on them things.
Yeah.
Oh, they would. Yes, sir. They would. For real.
They don't live. They can get inside, but they can't live inside.
Yes, sir.
That one looks crowded.
Well, that's how I know that my bees are doing good. By all the beards, I can walk by and be like, "Oh, you got a lot of bees over there and over there and over there. It looks pretty good." So
that was our hiccup. That was the queen we took out doing them 2-frame splits, and we didn't realize we took her out until after we done all that. But she's coming along good.
Nice.
But all right, I'm going back in, y'all. It's hot.
You got sand in your yard like we do here.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Oh yeah, let's see.
That looks just like our soil. Or lack thereof. You got a bee on your camera or something.
They crawling up my arm. They done got fired up with this Q-bean.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, you get down the hill right there, that's just leaf litter and stuff. But I try to keep all this pretty well raked up. But they there sure ain't no grass.
Surprised you didn't spot a deer out there.
You better not drag a bee in the house.
That's why I'm blowing them off of me and shaking my shirt right now. I got a little worried with them ones that came in this morning. Told her, now to go in the other room till I get these things caught.
I'm surprised we only got 2 orders, 20% off. Get your Apis. I still think people that haven't tried it, they don't understand.
Yep, I fully agree.
Because it's like bee crack for some reason.
It is.
And I don't get into all the science of it and everything. I just know it works and it makes a difference.
I mean, look at it this way. What is it? $25? It's a $25 experiment. If it works great, which it does, you're gonna want to get more of it. It's not gonna hurt.
Go ahead and order the big pack. Take our word for it. You know, the funny thing is that, well, you think 52 gallons is $24, right? So, or $25 really, and then if you order 2 of those, that's $50 for $59, and that only makes 104 gallons. So for $59, you're making 265 gallons. So it's worth buying the bigger pack. Plus, I got a ton of the bigger packs, so I already know the smaller one always runs out quicker because if you got just 1 or 2 hives, it'll last a long time.
Yeah.
But if you got 10, 12, 15, you're going to run through it.
Yeah. That stuff.
Just ordered another 10 of what? 10 buckets. Where are you ordering your buckets from?
Oh, he was talking about Home Depot, I think.
Oh, for
10 for 34 online. 10 for $34.99 or something like that. So
with lids?
I don't know about lids.
Because Tractor Supply had them for $5 a piece, but they didn't come with lids.
Yeah. And then the lids are what, like $3 or something, I think, or $2 for lids.
Hey, make sure you get them good snap-on lids that click all the way around, not the ones that you just kind of push down, because those the ones that typically come with, let me get this thing turned back around. The ones that typically you just get with the bucket, you just more or less push down and it kind of stays. But if you got a good one that clicks down all the way around, that's much better to
Well, I put in an order with my guy to tell him to start getting me some more pickle buckets, but my Apis turns brown after opening and smells funny because you didn't follow the directions of putting it in the freezer when you're done.
It'll still work though.
Yeah, it still will work. Mine, when I mix it, the water turns brown until I mix it in with my syrup.
Is that Jasper?
he tired too, boss.
That's what I'm going to look like here in a few minutes.
My thing is, do you make your own screens or do you buy the plugs?
No, I buy the plugs. I just call Greg and say, hey, send me
100 plugs or something.
Yeah, send me a bag.
And they're already drilled? He already drills them, or?
No, he can, but I do it myself. I don't even drill them. I take those brad nails, and I'll bend them. I'll make an L out of it, and I'll just use that one side as a handle, and I'll push it right into the lid or into the plug. I'll do like 3 holes.
Yeah, I buy the pint. I got pint jars from Dollar General last time too, and then I went into Ollie's and they had them cheaper than even Dollar General. So if you got I know Michael, you probably got an Ollie's near you. Matter of fact, my son was down near you guys today, and this is what makes me mad. My son came to visit me after I fussed at him, right? So he showed up at 3:20 this afternoon. They stayed for a few hours, but He came in town at 11 and drove an hour with my nephews to go to Buc-ee's in Florence. And they spent some time in Buc-ee's. So he spent more time in town with my nephew than he did with me here, right? But, what can you say? But they did bring me some good old Buc-ee's ghost pepper beef jerky.
Ooh.
And
That
some
light me on fire.
And some Buc-ee's nuggets, bold and spicy flavor. So, what can you say? They thought of me a little bit. I'd have been like, man, you guys should have just came and got me. I'd have road tripped with y'all for an hour or so. Run down there.
Man, they built one of them things across Mobile Bay on Baldwin County side over there. And we was doing a lot of work down in the Gulf Shores area after a couple of them hurricanes. And everybody talked about how you could just get about whatever you wanted to in one of them Buc-ee's. But I never stopped. I was in too big of a hurry in that morning to get there. Then coming home, I didn't want to do nothing but hit the interstate and go. I ain't never been anywhere.
Last time I was in Texas, we just got QT over here. If you don't have a QT, they were pretty nice too. Yeah, Dollar General's $10.80, and it's $8 and something for 12 at over at Ollie's. And Michael's had them for $8 and something. I don't know if they still do. Everybody's got sales going right now.
Well, gentlemen, I'm going to go. I'm going to brush my teeth and go to bed.
Hey.
I'm going to get the hiccups now that I just ate this.
Lord. Have a good evening, brother. And Lord willing, everything will work out good for you tomorrow.
Yeah, it will. I'm going to be in and out of there quick.
Oh, my gosh.
But you guys have a great 4th of July and stay cool, I guess.
It's supposed to rain here on the 4th.
Oh,
yes,
wow. Not over here.
Woo.
Bob's going to blow up.
I get the hiccups.
All right. I'll catch you guys later.
Thanks, Todd.
Okay.
Take it easy.
Well, evidently they don't have it on sale anymore. But they had them. They had them cheaper. They don't. Oh, it says 30% off if you use a code, and free shipping over $49.
That's on the jar.
Mason jar or 12 count mason jars, pint size. Let me see. So I guess that'd be about $8. Whatever $12 divided by 4 is, would be about $8, right? Free store pickup or free shipping. Let's see. Let's copy this code first, see what happens. Copy. Put that in the basket over here. Where do you put the code in? Add to cart. View my cart. Oh, maybe that is the discount price.
Ooh.
They have plastic mason jars too.
They look cheaper.
Not really. $2 a piece. That's higher. Anyway, evidently the sale is not on like we need it to be.
I think they're about $10 a case around here at the Dollar General. We ain't been in no Ollie's in a little while.
Ollie's had them for Let's see if they still got them on sale. Ollie's. Where's the search? Great deals. Search. There's a search bar. Mason jars. Now they had a different brand too, other than the Mason Ball brand. Oh, they're not even showing it, but I know they had it at the store.
Shoot, well, look at as long as it's glass and you can get a lid for it, let it rip.
Hey, they got ACs on sale. If you need a window unit. If you drink Bang energy drinks, they got a case of 24 for $16.99.
I'm stuck on my sweet tea.
That's a good one. They have a Murray electric pressure washer, $67.99 with a 35 electric power cord, it says.
It's 3,500 PSI?
2,000. 2,000 PSI for $68.
That'd be good to
wash your car or
knock
something.
the mud off of.
Knock the mud off your truck.
Yes, sir. I was gonna comment the other night, y'all talking about wheels and tires for them hive lifters. And I was like, shoot, put some of them tires Bob got on that pickup truck on that rascal.
They said it'd be too loud then, probably.
Too loud.
They'll scare the bees with that. Trying to see what else they got. They got Armstrong flooring. Laminate floor. That's what I should do. It's $2.12 a square foot. Is that cheap? I don't know. I'll never buy it.
Laminate floor.
Lay in a laminate floor in my honey house.
That's all right. Especially if you're just doing something cheap in there. You ain't worried about it if it does get cut. I would not trial it.
Waterproof vinyl flooring. Bankruptcy buyout.
You might get you a good deal on some then.
It says $2.12 a square foot.
I guess things gonna be how thick is it too. You'll put your hands on it.
Let's see what it says. Rigid core waterproof vinyl flooring. Anyway, is what it is.
How wide is your honey house?
How big is it?
Like, is it say like 12 by 16 or 16 by 16? You know?
I think it's like 18. It's like 350 square foot if you measure it outside, like right at 350 square foot.
So, that vinyl's going to be 12 foot wide by whatever your linear feet.
And I know the outside, I didn't have to cut any length off of like 4x8 sheets. I didn't have to cut any length off of it. So it's 8 foot tall on the outside, which the inside is 8 foot too. So I could put full sheets up or whatever. I just have to cut out for the electrical now.
We'll say you got vinyl siding on the outside of it?
No, T111.
T111. Well, you can count your sheets.
And I got that T111 that was already primed, and then I used a good, I think Sherwin-Williams exterior grade paint on it. Couple coats of that.
All right, Bob, nothing else, man. Just stain that concrete floor real nice. But you get something down there you like.
I even thought about just getting some of that garage floor paint that you put the chips on, and doing that. But thing is, I have to empty the whole place out to paint the floor. That's the problem. And unless you paint part of it and then let it dry and move everything over, then you end up with a line in the floor.
Here, what you do. you tell your folks that like to eat, and especially the ones that's got strong arms and a fairly decent back, and tell them, say, hey, look, I'm cooking crawfish
Make a boil.
and the fixings. Be here at 6 o'clock. Well,
When they show up.
that's it. Tell them, say, look, we're not eating till 8, but while we're here,
We're going to go ahead.
Real quick.
Let's empty this out.
That's it. They'll get some things moved.
And I'm also thinking about cutting and framing in a window. Not for having a window, but for putting a window air conditioner in there.
Mm-hmm.
They make those U-shaped ones. Have you seen those?
No,
U-shaped window. Oh, you need to look at them. They're nice. So the loud part is on the outside, and all the controls on the inside, and it hooks to your like Alexa or your Google, and you can say, "Hey Google, turn up the AC," or "Turn on the AC," and it'll turn it on. And it also has a dehumidifier function on it. So for a honey house,
that'd be perfect.
It'd be perfect. You could You could just dehumidify it right in there.
How much? And that's just, it goes in like a window unit?
Yeah, it's got a bracket that mounts in the window frame, and it's made by a company called Midea, Midea, and I think a 8,000 BTU one's like $350, and it comes with the mounting bracket that supports on the outside, and it closes all down.
Well, that'll definitely be worth it on the dehumidifier end.
So even that'll make it cooler just in itself, dehumidifying the room.
Well, you'll be able to tell a sure enough difference between walking in your house and walking in that room.
But I want to get some insulation and put the insulation up, and then figure out what I'm gonna do on the inside of it, and try to knock that out probably over the winter when it's a little bit cooler, or the fall. You know what fall we get.
Now, I may have to ask you this one during a phone conversation. Let me see how I can put this. Do you have fuss with the state as far as how you're supposed to have a setup?
Well, talking about inspector.
Well, like, I've heard some people talk about it. If they're gonna have a product in a room and it's designated for harvesting, then it has to be, you got to have.
Only if I sell over 4,800 pounds of honey.
Well, hey, good deal.
So
you can just get it.
And they don't know how much honey I've sold.
Yeah.
Or harvested or whatever. So yeah. After that point, then you're supposed to have it inspected, which means it'd probably have to have running water out in there and all kinds of stuff. But hey, I know how to make me a sink in there with a hot water heater that I can disconnect and connect with a garden hose. Or something makeshift. But
hey, as long as it passes inspection.
Look, we don't use this room all the time, but when we do use it, the water will be hooked up, or it's hooked up for the inspection.
No, that's what you do. Just have everything nice and pretty for them.
I think the drain, like floor drains and stuff like that, is what they get on you about. But
well, that wouldn't be too terribly bad. If they did want you to put a drain in somewhere, you could go to one of them outside walls, and I don't know if you got one, or you could go to the depot or the other one and rent you one, but get you a rotary drill.
Wipe down plastic panels. Let's see how much some things are at Lowe's. How do you put those up though? Those panels, plastic.
You're gonna need a
sheeting.
Yeah, you need to put
like you use in the bathroom section type of deal.
It'll work. The only booger is now, I tell you this, get you a heat gun. Those little strips where you put them seams together.
Mm-hmm.
Get you a little heat gun and warm that plastic up and run you. I just run a file. I mean, not a file, but a chisel. Heat it up. Take that chisel and stick in there and pull those lips apart a little bit. And get it in there. If not, they a booger to put together. But it'll work.
I think I've got I want to say it's a DeWalt heat gun. Plastic wall panels. They're proud of them things.
So dry cuts ain't have to be 9 pores, so you have to get that slick.
Yeah, I ain't never gonna have anybody out here inspecting ever. If I get to the point that I'm selling 4,800 pounds of honey a year, I'll have a different setup. You can do 400 gallons. So 400 gallon, or it's 400 gallons as long as you're not selling to somebody who's reselling. If you're selling to somebody who's reselling your honey, then you would have to. So some of that stuff is pretty expensive.
Well, how about your little gig sticking it in the grocery stores?
Do what?
You was talking to the grocery store people not long ago about.
Yeah, that's why I didn't put any in there, because of the inspection thing. But so that's kind of what I've been contemplating. But at the same time, if I put plastic wall up there, then if I ever move the honey stuff out there, well, then it looks like a honey house that's not being used and not just like another room, right? So it's all stuff I'm trying to put into consideration. But we'll see. Let me see. 400 gallons. Let me make sure my math is correct. 400 gallons times 12, right? 4,800 pounds. Yep. 4,800 pounds of honey. Yeah, then you have to have the inspector, the food people come out and do all that. So kind of a pain. But anyway, we're about 10 minutes to 1. Tim and Hannah have a live stream tomorrow night at 8. So be there. At least 8 Eastern. 20% off code on the website. Thank you to the people who have already ordered using the code. But what is the X12? Do you mean X16? Am I missing something? I don't know. Anyway, guys, have a good night, and we'll see y'all later.
All right, bro. Y'all take it easy.
Good night.